Whether you are left of politics or right of politics or really don't care, I want to share something with you that you should care about. You see, both Labour and Conservative for a very long time have used the supposedly different approaches to get their idea and their ideology through. But these ideas that they come up with in Parliament concern all of us. So I want to start with showing you something. The national living wage or the national minimum wage. These are two wages, two wage levels that Rachel Reeves stood there and said, I'm going to raise these. What a great job I'm doing. And of course, if you are somebody who is receiving living wage or national minimum wage, you're probably thinking, yeah, this is great. Really delighted to see that. And why wouldn't you? But let's just think about a couple of things to make sure we are really clear what is happening here. First of all, living wage and national minimum wage. Increasing those rates doesn't come from government. Government says that, but your employer has to come up with the money in order to do it. So let's think about one particular sector, and let's think about the four big supermarkets. Now, they have looked at the increase, because this has to be paid for somewhere, because there's not just the increased wage that you're going to get, there's an increase in what's called employers' national insurance. Now, for certainty, you don't directly pay this, but it's going to affect you. And not only has that increased from 13.8% to 15%, but also the threshold has lowered. And this is key. You must understand this. It has lowered from £9,100 to £5,000. Now, what does all of that mean? And why should you care? Well, I will tell you. So when you are paid, perhaps on a part-time basis, a holiday basis, something like that, and if we think about the big supermarkets, we know that a lot of their staff are paid part-time, holiday workers, that sort of thing. And previously, you had to be earning £9,100 before employers' NI came in. That's now been lowered to £5,000. That means that many more employees, the business will have to pay tax on them. And the tax is no longer 13.8, it's now 15%. Plus, of course, they are paying higher levels of living wage or national minimum wage. Now, why should all of this bother you? This is where Labour is relying on people to go down the old left versus right routes. Yeah, the big companies will pay it, rich people will pay it. But I want you to think about this just for a moment. Supermarkets are highly agile businesses. They are based entirely commercially. They are there to make profits for their shareholders. They are not there in the way that the government will just go, oh, they will pay a bit more money, they'll just pay us a bit more money. That's not how businesses operate. So somehow this money needs to be paid for. And the four supermarkets are talking in terms of £500 million additional cost that Rachel Reeves' little announcement has made. So where is all of that money coming from? Well, one argument, and this is where again it's sometimes pushed from a left perspective, rich companies can absorb the costs themselves. So yes, they could do, some might absorb some or all of it. But let's be real, they probably won't. What they could do is they could pay less to their suppliers. So their suppliers get less money for the goods and services that they supply the supermarkets. That is a very real possibility. A second possibility is that they will hire fewer people. So fewer staff will get hired, which means if you're working there, you're going to be putting in longer shifts or longer hours or longer time or whatever. So they'll hire fewer people. Another opportunity that they will have to make this money back is that they will offer you fewer pay rises, fewer opportunities to progress. So that's in terms of pay rise, that's in terms of promotion. Both of those things become a little bit more risky for the supermarket. And finally, number 5, of course, they will increase prices for everybody who shops in their stores. Think about it. It's very easy for a supermarket to add 1 pence there, 2 pence there, and the amount of things they sell, just the vast amount of it, will very quickly raise that money. Now, what have you noticed here? You will be getting high living wage or national minimum wage. Brilliant, very happy for that. It is paid for by increased tax and a reduction in the threshold. Who's going to pay for that? Well, either the people who supply will be earning less money, you will have fewer opportunities to get employed or fewer opportunities to get promoted, and all of us will pay a higher prices. This is Labour's version of protecting the working person.